We are in the middle of a heat wave and it's only going to get hotter. Actually, I'm getting a lot of questions from Instagram. Ito yung problema namin with the glass. How are you dealing with it in a glass house? We actually made a video a long time ago with Chris. We talked about how it feels like to live in a glass house. But I feel like we can do better. I feel like we can structure it a little bit more, talk a little bit more in depth, especially because it is just getting hotter and hotter. So even here at the SkyPod, ang dami naming dinagdag, ang dami naming ginawa to make sure that we are as comfortable as possible, even if nasa glass house kami. So I hope this video will help you out just as much as it helped the comfort of our home. Guys, Boy Scout tayo ngayon. Ang dami kasi natin i-cover, so sit back, relax. But what we're going to do is we're going to list this in priorities. Kung saan pinaka easy to implement. So we'll start off with that to the most complicated or yung parang desperate ka na talagang ma-implement to, meron din tayo. So may mga levels tayong gagawin. Yeah. Okay, so let's start off with the easiest one to implement, and that is to maximize natural ventilation. So itong natural ventilation, ideally, it would have been studied beforehand sa design phase. The concept is may in and out yung hangin. Ideally, it should come from low to high, diba? Kasi hot air rises. By having openings at the bottom, similar to ours here, dito sa ground level, meron tayo yung mga openings to our sliding doors. And then, it pushes the hot air upwards and out to the jalousie outside. So that's kind of like the best ideal system. Although, yung left and right na mga opening should work just fine also. Along with that side, important din to consider what kind of windows you're using. So for example, if it's a sliding window, you're getting 50% of the ventilation. So sliding window, diba? Ganyan. And pag sinlide mo to one side, you're getting half of the air that's coming in. So that's sliding windows. Pag awning, mas maliit pa yun kasi it's like this short opening na ganyan. Small opening. You also have the jalousie, the tried and tested jalousie na ginagamit natin for a very long time. And that gives you 100% ventilation. So if you really want a lot of air going into your house, consider jalousie, diba? When it opens, ganyan. So all the air coming in. Next up, and this is fairly recent, ginawa namin, we added ceiling fans throughout the house, and I can't even begin to tell you yung level of comfort na binigay niya, especially considering hindi ka na nag-worry a lot about the high consumption compared to air conditioning. Which leads me to the sponsor for this video, Panasonic ceiling fans. We have the F60XDN. That's the 5-blade 60-inch model nilagay namin sa bedroom namin. And then we have the F48DFL, which we have in all the other bedrooms. This is the 3-blade version. Both comes with an included remote control. You can easily choose from 9 different speeds to find your perfect comfort level. That's the only one in the market that goes up that high. Both feature a DC motor which only consumes 3 watts, saving you electricity by 55% compared to regular AC motors. Perfect timing din kasi pataas ng pataas yung electricity bills natin. A big standout for me is the Uragi function, which varies air velocity to create a breeze effect. So parang natural breeze yung feeling ng ceiling fan. The blades are top-notch, made out of high-quality PPG material for maximum durability and airflow. So if you're looking for ways to beat the heat this summer, check out the Panasonic ceiling fans. That's available in their caravans at Ace Hardware, where you can get freebies and prices. That's also available on Shopee, Lazada, Lite, and traditional hardware stores nationwide. Next up, we have something fairly easy pa rin, and there's a lot of ways to go about it. We implemented some of these ways here at the SkyPod, which has been very helpful for us. And that is just regular sun shading and sun protection. So itong mga overhangs na ginagamit natin dito sa living area natin, very effective. We have this massive, I think this is a 4 or 5 meter overhang we have across this living room area. Now, we kind of forgot to implement this in the master bedroom. Hindi namin na-consider. This was actually raised to me by our architects. Pero sabi ko, morning sun lang naman kami facing, baka hindi siya masyadong mainit. And turns out, nagkamali ako. So medyo mainit yung master bedroom namin dati, but na-solve naman din namin. And this is something that you can implement in your own home. What we did is we placed planters in front of the master bedroom, so nagsishade na siya. But what's even more effective is when we place a proper shade talaga, yung pergola that we recently installed. So we added an outdoor area, but we also made the master bedroom very, very cool. So hindi na talaga issue yung heat in our master bedroom. Other ways you can go about shading is curtains, blinds, blackout curtains help a lot when it comes to shading your windows. Next, we have the cooling power of indoor plants. We have plants all over our home. Just as a broad stroke explanation, indoor plants is believed to help with humidity control inside the home and help a little bit with lowering the heat of the home itself, plus an added benefit of fresh air in the home. Next, we have changing your lights to LED lights. So this is not a very, I would say, big deal when it comes to heat. Merong mga konting contribution. You know how light bulbs get very warm? By changing it to LEDs, mas cool yung LED eh. So that helps a little bit. But I think the biggest benefit for this would also be when it comes to energy saving, when it comes to the home itself. Then we have the ceiling and insulation of air-conditioned spaces. So this is very important na I think it's often overlooked and it's very easy to solve. Especially on the mga window type na air conditioners. Makikita ko yung may gap dito sa sides. You can see light passing through there. This actually wastes a lot of the cool breeze in your home when you're air conditioning your room. Lumalabas yung malamig na hangin because of these gaps. So I see this all the time in the gaps of air conditioners, windows na may gaps, jalousie na hindi nagko-close ng maayos. This is very wasteful and really negates yung benefits of the air conditioning system. And it's very easy to solve. Lagyan lang natin ng sealant or meron tayong mga spray na PU foam that expands to seal that gap, or even just regular styrofoam na nilalagay lang talaga so sealed tayo lahat. And you keep the cool air in. Di ba palagi sinasabi ni Mama, isara niyo yung pinto kasi lumalabas yung aircon. So yun na yun. Ito, like Mom is right when it comes to this thing. Those were the most basic, easy to achieve ng mga solutions. And pag hindi pa yun nasusolve and meron pa kayong mga problema, ito na yung mga mas konting advance. First up, we have innovative roofing solutions. So, cool roof technology, the insulation from our roof. Alam mo yung when you go to the very old houses, yung mga 1960s, palagi siyang sobrang init. That's usually because hindi pa uso na gumagamit ng insulation at that time. I've been through some ancestral houses na sobrang init talaga, and they'll ask me, ano pwede natin gawin? Kasi ang dami ng aircon, mainit pa rin. So that is typically the cause. So anong pwede nating gawin when it comes to that as an existing homeowner and a new homeowner? First up, roof insulation. Dito sa Skypod, ginawa namin, we have 2-inch thick PU foam underneath. Sabay na to siya sa roofing. When you order, naka-sandwich na siya in between the roofing. That's a similar foam na ginagamit sa mga refrigerator. May kamahalan, but it really helps cool down the entire area. Ang daming mga versions of this. There's the PU, there's the PE, there's all kinds of different versions. Another way you can go about it, sabihin natin, if you are an existing homeowner, meron ka ng roof, pero mainit pa rin talaga sa loob. There are things that you can place within your ceiling na pwede nating ihabol dun para ma-insulate siya. These are typically found in rolls, may mga fiberglass, there's even newer technologies na ipasok lang talaga siya in between the roof and the ceiling. You just spread it out all across the ceiling and that helps out a lot also. Speaking of insulation, it's not only important to consider the insulation that's coming from your roof, meron din from the walls. Thermal insulation. This is where light panel comes in. Wow, I'm glad you're seeing it. No, but actually, totoo talaga. There are walling solutions that help insulate from the heat. Especially yung mga morning or afternoon sun, tinatamaan yung walls natin eh. And if you feel that wall, even from the inside, may heat ka na mafe-feel. So, it's important to have products that insulate from the heat. So for example, light panel is about 4 to 5 times more insulating than hollow block. So, for example, if you have a 4-inch hollow block wall, the insulation properties of Lite panel would be ganito kakapal, equivalent of the hollow block. So imagine that being much cooler place. So isa yun. It's also important to consider window insulation. So there's tints that you can apply. There's what you call a low E type of glass, yung may insulation na sa loob ng glass, but there's also double glaze na glass or even triple glaze. So meaning tatlong layers of glass yung nilalagay nila, and then in the middle there's an insulating glass. Typically argon yung pinapasok dun. It really helps insulate from the heat outside. Although mas mahal talaga siya. Imagine ang dami ng glass na nangyayari sa windows natin. But for me, if I had the budget, I would have done it here. But mahal kasi talaga. So moving on to the most challenging. So ito yung mga from the get-go, you've already figured it out in the design phase mismo. So here, high ceilings really help. So diba, hot air rises, so at least andun yung init. And then you use cross ventilation to push that out. So that helps a lot. But again, kailangan beforehand natin na pag-isipan. Another one when it comes to ventilation is orienting from the design phase kung saan mag-face yung mga ventilation natin or yung mga openings natin. Proper orientation for sun and wind. So an example of this would be, we're doing a new project in Manila soon. Ginawa talaga namin from the start is to find the path of the sun and orient the structure against it na hindi siya mainit. Second would be to also orient the structure to funnel the wind that's coming from the amihan or the habagat side. So ito, kailangan from the start na pinag-isipan na talaga. Innovative roofing solutions. Green roofs. Ginagawa natin to sa The Rise. So The Rise, meron siyang a big part of it, like 30% of it. So around 30% of The Rise has landscaping and green roofing solutions. So this actually helps with cooling down the heat passively. So different siya, a little bit more complicated to execute versus the lagyan lang natin ng insulation, but significantly mas effective talaga to. The plants, the soil, the rooftop barrier acts as an insulation for the entire building talaga, helping the whole structure cool down. Next up, we have something that we've implemented here at the SkyPod, and this is very effective. And we're doing this in our future projects as well, and that is having water features close by. So for example, we have the pool right in the middle of the SkyPod. So we have that breeze mixing with the evaporation of the air. So tumutulong siya to cool things down. This is actually also implemented in one of our projects na sinadya naming may fountain talaga in the middle. And that fountain gives you magandang background noise, but also helps with the air quality in that area. So very effective, and as an added benefit, pag sobrang init na talaga, mag-swimming na lang kami. Okay, so that's about it. We've gone through everything from the easiest to the hardest to implement. Hopefully, nakakatulong sa inyo, especially in this more structured format. It would be helpful for you if you have a home already or you're planning to build your home. You can take these things into consideration and come back to this video. So I'm promising myself to be a lot more consistent on this channel. So please help me out, subscribe. Target natin to get 1 million in this year. We're at around 900,000 subs. So konting-konti na lang talaga. Help me out, guys, and comment down below on what you want us to talk about next. And if you have any other questions, yung mga hinanakit nyo sa bahay nyo, sa mga experience nyo when it comes to construction, let me know. Maybe we can talk about it in a future video. And if you like the video, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you later.